Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow! All right, well, makeup's done. It was a pig, not a cat. So who's you gave me a list last week, and of course last week we did the hello, the reach outs to everybody, and you know, did Basil BuddhaCat's Romper Room, or was it just Basil BuddhaCat's Rumpus Room? I don't know. You can bet neither one of those are copyrighted at any rate. So we're waiting to figure out. I'm gonna refresh your memory about. Hold on, I can see a little bit better. Okay, the audience can see a little bit better, and I can see a little bit better. Last week when we were doing the magic mirror. Oh, and by the way, BM baked beans. The original baked beans, 99% fat-free, excellent source of fiber. And disclaimer on the back, something about if you're going to eat these before you play football, or any sport for that matter, well, with football, after you eat these, you want to make sure never go back to pass. Always face the line of scrimmage, because you're bound to get some extra yards in every single play via jet propulsion. Baseball, well, that could be a problem because you run down to first base, and if you don't step right, you're going to be down the right field line running the bases, and probably out of the baseline, probably automatically and out. I don't know. So anyway, so BM, original baked beans. This one has molasses, pork, and spices in it. And so, let's, okay, while we're doing the mirror show, we'll call it, you mentioned to the audience that you have upcoming guests, all within the framework of your Cinco de Marzo extravaganza. You have, who's scheduled? Ringo's Mum's Cat. Okay. You have Basil's T-shirt and real estate career, where we were going to go back to Johnsonville. We're not there, although it appears like we're home from Shanghai. We were in Shanghai last week. You know, we got Shanghai. So we're back. The studio's back. The audience is back with us. Bill Murray, Stephen Colbert, and Drew Carey. LFFF they're all back in the hammock. Well, I guess they were in the hammer in Shanghai because they got mistaken for laundry. So we're all back. We're just waiting to get the show started. Oh God. Okay, well, welcome. Happy Friday night to Basil BuddhaCat Presents. We're suffering from a little bit of jet lag from the trip back from Shanghai, from the Boxing Cat Brewery. And okay, well, let's figure out what you're gonna do. Ringo's Mum's Cat. Okay, Basil's giving me a sideways glance and twitching three whiskers on the on his right hand side. And okay, I'll quote him. Said, what's the question again? Oh, okay. So, Is it going to be Ringo's mom's cat on the show this week? Of those that I mentioned, I think I mentioned them while we were on camera. Okay. Now he's flicking the whiskers on the left side of his face. And I'll quote him. Said no. Okay, well, not Ringo's mom's cat. All right, well, let's go on the list. Basil's T-shirt, real estate career. Okay. Quote him. Said Johnsonville, nah. Only if we can get that guy that pulled over and started yelling at us. If we can get him, we'll go back there if we can get him in the video, because he was pretty funny, screaming at us about how we were trespassing. Of course, now when he pulled off the road onto the property, he was too. Yeah, he was. He was the first one. He was the only one that pulled over and yelled at us. He was not number 9, number 9, number 9. So, okay, so not going back to Johnsonville, huh? Okay, well that's good because it's an hour drive from here. Okay. Well, only when that. Okay, was one other possibility. Besides, two other possibilities. Dumbarton News, in conjunction with Political Outcast and Godfather Politics. Okay, Basil said. Screw them. Screw them. Said screw them. Okay, so well, that only leaves one guest. Only one potential guest that you talked about last week, and that guest is not here. So what, we're just going to sit here and twiddle our thumbs for half of an hour on a Friday night when we could be out catting with your friend Satin Doll. Right. Oh, you came through. Well, at any rate, I don't want to tip off the audience, but Basil had also promised to redo a show from not a redo, huh? Said, slow it down. He said, slow it down. Do another baked beans commercial. I can sense some ka-ching out there. Okay. BEM, original baked beans, 99% fat-free, excellent source of fiber. Endorsed by every quarterback that ever ran for 100 yards in a game. And was endorsed by every quarterback that got sacked 18 times in the game for 200 yards in losses. It's all how you approach the line of scrimmage, apparently. So, looks like you have a guest coming on. Looks like he's off stage from here. But Basil promised that he was going to have Dick Vandyke on. Dick Vandyke was visiting Basil BuddhaCat Presents. And until Dick Vandyke strolls on stage, I guess we're going to have to go with something different. How many commercials are you allowed per hour? I guess the standard now for a half-hour show is only about 23 minutes, so we could probably almost make that if we start repeating ourselves with BM, baked beans. Let's hand out. Wonder how to hand out a giant lion-sized Hershey's Kiss Award to wait a second. Take a bit of a lunch break before we get started. Late night snack. How come we can't get bananas? Bananas would be a good sponsor. Arnold's Bakery. Okay. Why Arnold's Bakery? Basil said. So, there's some bread in that. Okay, well, you know, I can see off to the side, I think, off stage, I think that that our guest Dick Vandyke is there, and hey Walter, well we can do 40 seconds of Walter's dusting. Okay. Basil doesn't like it when Walter gets in the picture right in front of Basil. Thank you, Walter. Thank you. You can have a seat down there and you can watch the show. Okay. So we're still waiting. We're waiting for your guest, Dick Vandyke. Okay, while we're doing that, give us some more shows. Give us some more upcoming shows. Or, how about maybe if we wait and maybe we'll get a phone call. Oh, look at that. Hello? And it's on the... Now this is the phone that's usually reserved for Lil. So it's got to be somebody that's really hyper important in order to get to us on this phone. Just a second. Okay, hold on. Okay. So, yeah, it is. Well, we didn't have to even ask it. We know Marucci's phone number. Hey, Marucci, what do you got to say about last week's show? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? You were here for a couple of call-ins. Did you watch the entire show? He said, yeah, I'm on satellite. I watched it. And I'm going to watch it again. He says I'm going to watch it again on Omnivision, which is where he's our sponsor, not to be confused with this sponsor. So, did you get a chance to chat with Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran or any of the other guys we made a casual mention to on the show last week? Marvin Hagler, yeah. Thomas Hitman Hearns. Yeah, that's. I gotta refresh the audience a little bit on that because Marucci's he's not giving me a lot of detail, but I watched some of these. I watched some of these matches quite a few times. Some of them. So Thomas Hitman Hearns was, I think he had a reach of about 40 feet. And was about 8 feet tall. And that was the guy who Duran lost to later on in his career. After the near victory over Hagler. And problem is that once Duran stepped into the ring, it was only a 20-foot ring, so once Duran stepped into the ring, he walked right into Hagler's. Hagler was still outside the ring on the other side, but he walked right into Hitman Hearns' boxing glove, his 40-foot long reach, and bang, Duran went down, and they could have called it a draw because they actually had not rung the bell yet. Oh, they had? Said, yeah, it was about 4 seconds into the fight. Duran took one step into the ring, and down he went. Okay. So, Basil, I think your guest is on stage. Hey, we'll chat with you a little bit later in the show, maybe. I can't hang it back up because I think we're going to have to. It's even got a Van Dyke beard. Look at that. And large enough to straddle the receiver of the Cat in the Hat phone. And Okay, well, for escorting our guest Dick Vandyke on stage, we're going to hand him his 23rd Lion-Sized Hershey's Kiss Award to our good friend Trump. Now Basil's been watching the news. I don't know if you've been watching the news recently, like for instance yesterday and today, but Basil's been talking to Trump's 12 cats. They're all named Whitey. They're all in Trump Towers, and while Trump's been gone, they've been leaving some "We miss you" gifts in his Gucci shoes, and so Basil's been on the line with them talking about what's going on, and apparently very much like, now remember when we had we got John Roberts' cat here, his cat Basil here today too, although he was dressed up as a gaucho. But remember when John Roberts' cat came on and explained to us in an exclusive interview why, yeah, look at this. Yeah. Basil said, cat. Said, where's the cat? Where's the cat hoodie that I gave you a couple years ago? What's his business with the horses? I don't know. If I can find the cat hoodie you gave me a couple years ago, I'll wear it at another show. But that's it for now. That's all you got now. So we've given 23 of these awards out to Trump, and apparently his cats are really getting very politicized. Of course, all 12 of them are named Whitey. And Basil was on the phone with them yesterday, and again today, and about an hour before the show, he claims. And he said they told him that Whitey, and not to be left behind, Whitey apparently told Bat, well, okay, I'm going to quote you first. Okay. You can hear it first from the cat's mouth, and remember, kids, you got to learn to speak the language of your house cat, because there are more houses, not just in America, but in the entire world, and maybe in worlds beyond, that have a cat for their second language, and have any other language, Spanish, Portuguese, Italiano, Laotian, Cambodian, Chinese, you name it. Well, maybe not Chinese if you count Cantonese as Chinese. It might be closed in. So learn to speak the language of your house cat. So he's on the phone an hour before the show with and Whitey, and they're telling him. Now let him say it for himself, okay? Then I'll translate. Said, whoops. Said, they told him that it's actually them that were sitting there when Michael, no, not Mike Pence, the other Michael, the other Michael, the one that was talking about 10 hours a day to the Kremlin while Trump was out telling everybody that I wish, I guess I could quote him. No, I wish those Russians could crack the code of the Democratic National Committee and find those 30,000 emails that they seem to have misplaced. I remember that, yeah. So Whitey and the other Whiteys were on the phone next to Mike Flynn. Okay, good Irish name. So they're on the phone. They're sitting next to him when he's on the phone, and he's got it on speakerphone because apparently he was imbibing a bit while he was on the phone with them. Probably drinking vodka. They were probably drinking vodka at their end. And apparently they talked about nothing of any national security, just little odds and ends like the nuclear codes for both countries. They're actually, apparently they were watching the movie, Michael Moore movie, Where to Invade Next, and getting some jollies about that, and comparing notes on how they could carve up the world, and how if we let Russia have Ukraine, then maybe Russia would let us have Cuba. So that's it. That's and what? Basil says, said, and it was a party line, and who else was on that party line in that conversation? Apparently, Drumpf and Half a Sixpence were there also on the line, listening in and conversing with the Russian embassy, the Kremlin, and whoever else might have tapped into the line. Probably Edward Snowden. Snowden might have been there. He's probably the one that was farting periodically and getting a good laugh out of the everybody else that was on the line. So you're saying that Michael Flynn was on the line. He and the Russian ambassador and the Kremlin, all of them were on the line. And Trump and Half a Sixpence were on the line too, and that sounds like a pretty precarious position to be in. If they not only knew that Flynn was talking to them, but actually participating in the conversation. And this is before. Wait a second. I want to make sure I get this right. Are Whitey and the rest of the Whiteys saying that this was going on before the election? Because I know there was conversations on December 30th, which not before the election, but before Trump took office. So December 30th is one that's etched in stone. Is when Flynn was talking to his counterparts in the Kremlin, and they weren't his counterparts yet because the Trump administration wasn't in power and Flynn wasn't in power yet. So it's almost too much to digest. So what you're saying that what Whitey and Purple, one of them got dyed by Ivanka. And speaking, wait a second, there's something. Oh, look at that! It came accompanied by Trump's portrait, this $20,000 portrait. And we know it's worth $20,000 because look, it took it at least all of about 8 seconds to do with a green magic marker. So that's. But on the side of Dick Vandyke's face, I'll call it face. No, on the side of Dick Vandyke's nose is tattooed "Property of Melania." This is almost too much. So, I'm thinking maybe we ought to try to see if we can look outside and see if Ringo's mom's cat's out in the alley. Hey, Walter, go look outside and see if Ringo's mom's cat's out in the alley. Okay. Okay, while Walter's doing that, we're going to get the mirror up again because let's see, maybe we can blind the ceiling, maybe we can blind the camera, maybe we can blind the fish, maybe okay, well, so Basil, who are we going to okay, Basil said here's one, we're going to do our own folks that we know, because we don't have to pretend like there's 6,000 Joeys out there or 10,000 Susies out there that all are going to think we're calling out to them. We're going to call out to let's call out to Lara. Hey, Lara. Or how did she do it? Oh, I see Lara in the mirror. I see Lara out there in the TV audience. Okay, and anybody else? Basil said, so now I'm tired of that already. Well, wait, hold on. Let me... Tommy, you still there? Okay. Yeah, Marucci's still there. So, did we miss any of the... Okay, he said, I know what you're going to ask me, so I'm just going to answer before we even get there. Said, yeah, Duran had like about a 48-1 record at one point in his career. And lost one early. And another one, again, that's because he drank too much tequila and ate too much beef Wellington, okay, the night before, and had to, heave it up in order to make the weight class, and that was his only other, that was his first bad fight before the no mas decision. And it really wasn't a decision, was it? It would have been a technical knockout if the fighter refused to continue, or at least his legs refused to continue. So, okay. So he's reciting off to me all the Pepino Cuevas and all the other guys that Duran treated without mercy, especially as a what was he, a middleweight when he fought Hagler? Yeah, okay. So Duran fought at much lower weight classes because his structure was small, his height was short, his structure was small, and the only place he had to go to fight anybody at one point was to just bulk up and get stronger and heavier and move up weight classes, and that's been kind of not an unusual thing for boxers to do, because the closer you get to heavyweight, apparently there's more money in the heavyweight class than in the flyweight. So, okay. So he had all these boxing matches and did well in all of them, and then of course the startling loss to Leonard and the no mas fight. Hey, wait a second. Speaking of Montreal Stadium, Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Hey, were you watching the other day when we were watching Emerson, Lake and Palmer play Fanfare for the Common Man? It's on tape, obviously. It's recorded. And it's from 1976, which they recorded, and it was played actually as the song for the 76 Olympics. Da 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 da. Basil said, "Shut up! I don't want to hear you singing." Okay. Well, I don't know. This is going to be one of those abbreviated shows, but thanks for watching Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter-in-chief Gopher, and I think we're probably just going to replay this on Sunday, so you can watch it anyway, but, or you can watch it Facebook and YouTube also. Thanks for watching. Good night.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Meow.